These are the 7 chakras. And the flute is nothing but the entire back of yours, which is, remember, I had told you, the Sushumna Nadi, that is the one. He is holding the Sushumna. Indeed, in that there are 7 centers. 6 actually, 7, the last one. When he puts his mouth onto the last one over there is a hole just where he puts his mouth in. Do you know? There is a hole over there. I want you to think about that. The holes. The place from where the air goes in, and there's a place from where the air can come out also. So when you actually look at objects in his world, Sri Krishna's image, you are actually seeing Krishna within you. So every part of the being that is there, of his, you are going inwards in that. The more pankha. The more pankha is how many colors? Many, many colors over there. There is a central eye also over there. The eye is the center of the heart chakra. There are layers on top. So every part that you see, whenever you see, you are actually getting to that place within you. So meditating on a certain object at a certain place is triggering a reaction inside of you and raising the levels of the chakra. We have 72,000 principal nadis in the body. You see, some of the Chinese and Japanese knew about it. The 72,000 nadis. They have a very great art called acupressure and acupuncture. In our world, we don't have to do acupressure or acupuncture. In the Chinese world, they do the acupressure or acupuncture and all that. When you want to trigger something, they will ask you for doing something. They will put pins in a particular place in the body, needles. That affects another system somewhere. Think about it. What do you think they are doing? They are triggering that nadi over there, which is nothing but the 72 different heads of those places. They are the regional and the sub-regional and the divisional heads over there. So they trigger off. Alright? And that is what meditation is all about. When we meditate on specific object, it triggers within our being. Not outside, within our being. So we are actually not doing anything to that entity over there. So meditation is not about outside, meditation is about inside. I hope these 2 examples of, will help you in understanding a little bit of the subject. So, bowing again and again to me, those devotees with a firm resolve, ever united with me through meditation. Is he not telling you, united with me in meditation? When you meditate on the object, you are actually united with him. We are doing chapter 9, Bhagavad Gita, verse 13. On the other hand, Arjuna, great souls who have adopted the divine nature, knowing me as the prime source of all being and the imperishable eternal, worship me constantly with one pointedness of the mind. It's only a very rare specimen, rarest of the rare specimen. He is a sage. So this sage or this saint or this great devotee understands that everything is from Krishna only, even if he says, I am not responsible. You see, you had seen two verses where Sri Krishna says, nothing comes from me, I am in nothing. Did he say these words? He is very clear. I am not responsible for anything. So here let me tell you a story of a very great saint, or rather a good friend of his. His name is Sudama. Sudama was a childhood friend of his. Now when Sudama was very young, they were going grazing cows in the jungles. One day, Sri Krishna's mother gave a little bit of puffed rice to Sudama and said, you carry this rice with you, and whenever Sri Krishna and you get hungry, you just give it to him a little bit and you share it. So they go to the jungle, they are grazing the cows, they are just sitting under a tree, it's afternoon time. Sri Krishna knows this whole thing, not that he doesn't know, he's all knowing. But he will always act as if he has no clue about anything in the world. That is his delusive nature. That is called Yoga Maya. So what he does is, he says to Sudama, can I lie down in your lap? And I just want to... Sri Krishna has a very funny habit. Okay? He always lies down in other people's lap. Whether it is Radharani, whether it is Sudama, whether it is mother or whoever. So this is a very beautiful thing which he does. And he will feign that he is sleeping. They will be rubbing his head or maybe something like that, which is what he loves. So suddenly Sudama gets a little bit hungry. So from this side, he removes a little bit of those, puffed rice and he's eating. When you eat puffed rice, it makes a sound like that. And Sri Krishna is closed his eyes, he's not even looking. Okay? And by the time it is finished, he has eaten almost everything. Sudama has eaten everything. Sri Krishna opens his eyes and says, oh my God, I feel a little hungry. Do you have anything which my mother has given you? No. But I heard something just now. You are munching something. No, that is my stomach making noise, Krishna. So Sudama says like this and Krishna says, oh, yeah, that's okay, doesn't matter. Now this was the childhood story. Krishna lets it be. Doesn't say anything. Many years later, when Sri Krishna is a king of Dwarka, and he is sitting one day with his wife, okay, Rakmai, that is Rukmini, he's sitting with her, and they come to know that Sudama has come over there. Now Sudama has become a very poor man. Very, very poor. And he is still staying there. And his wife, Sudama's wife, says to him, see, your friend is the king of Dwarka. Why don't you go and ask him some money? You see, friends, they have to help each other. So go and ask him. So she says, you should go and ask. But Sudama says, we have nothing at home to give him. What can we give him? So she packs a little bit of puffed rice and gives him. And that is how he lands up in Dwarka. So Sri Krishna comes to know that, oh, Sudama has come. So he goes to that place and welcomes him. Okay. Now Sudama is dressed in very poor garments, old tattered kind of things. He's dressed okay, but he says, come, come, come. Makes him sit. Washes his feet. That is called, when you have to serve somebody. You know how beautiful it is to wash the feet of the person? Do you know of another person who washed the feet? Huh? Jesus Christ. Huh? He did that. So think about it. Washing other people's feet is very, very big positive in your world. If you get the opportunity, you should do to wash the feet. Okay, coming back to this. So he cleans him up and all that, makes him rest for some time. And now remember, his wife is next to him sitting over there. So he says, how are things with you and all that. And Sudama is telling lies. He says, all things are well, fine and all that. You know very well. Sri Krishna knows that nothing is well. He is a poor man. He doesn't have any money. So he says, did you get anything for me? So he says, no, I have not. No, you are hiding something. What is there in that thing put you over there? Can you show me? And Sudama is very reluctant to show. How can you give puffed rice to a king? He says, no, I am your friend. Give it to me. I want to eat. Something your wife must have sent. So he opens and he shows that. So Sri Krishna puts his hand like this and starts munching it. So he eats a handful of it. Now Sri Krishna is trying to put his hand once again into that. Sri Krishna's wife, Rukmini, she says, I think you have eaten enough. Have you ever seen this? I think you have eaten enough. You should not eat more. So Sri Krishna stops over there. This is enough, thank you. And after that, this man is not able to tell Sri Krishna that he wants money or something like that. Sri Krishna gives him nice meal and stuff like that, and after that he says, okay, I have to go now, and he goes. But he forgets asking Krishna, because he deliberately can't ask. How can you ask a great friend like this, who is such a rich fellow, oh my God, give me some money. No. He feels very shy and painful, it's a painful thing. So he goes back, he's trudging back to his place. So when he comes back to his own, he sees a massive place over there, a big palace over there. People are running here and there. He says, oh my God, somebody, by the time I went and came, somebody has built one very big palace. My house is gone then. So he had a very small house, and he comes to the place inside, and he sees that this palace, there is a very beautiful woman over there, and there are children over there, and they come running to him and they say, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy. I know they will not say Daddy at that time, but imagine that. Says, Mom, Dad has come. And he's looking at this lady and he's looking at the children, and yet they appear to be his children. And that lady appears to be his wife. He says, what happened? Oh, you don't know? Your friend gave all these things to us. So Sri Krishna has given all this. So this is how it works. Don't ask him. He will say, tell me how are things. His way of talking is very unique, He will always say, oh, really? What happened? I don't know what happened. Huh? Oh, so strange. It's so strange. Okay. I didn't know about it. Good. Good for you. And then if you tell him, the situation gets rectified on its own. You don't even have to ask him to change the situation. So Sri Krishna's benevolence is like this. Don't open your mouth and ask him. But tell him the story. See, if something has happened, tell him, Krishna, this has happened, you know. He's going to, okay, very good, very good. He may say these words and that's it. And you will wonder, why isn't he blessing me with something? You need to bless me with this, money or something. Don't say those words. You are making a big mistake. If you ask for this kind of blessing, then you are going to get into trouble. So don't ask. If you don't ask, he's anyway going to give. But tell him, bring him up to date. Because any which way he is going to say, I don't know anything. See, the patent words of Sri Krishna, really, I didn't know. I mean, I'm translating into English, but he may speak in some other language for all you know. So, Sri Krishna is telling about this kind of a great devotee. A devotee. He has adopted the divine nature. He knows that everything comes from Krishna. Everything. Don't bother your head about it. Everything is finally at his doorstep. Anything and everything. You may go and ask any god anywhere. They will ask you return. He's not going to ask you. He's never going to even say anything. This is the truth. Because if you believe in him, the devotion is all that he cares for. He doesn't care for any other thing. Everything is, the source is him. The end is also him. Everything begins from him and ends with him. So I hope you got the point. So we will move to the next one. We are doing chapter 9, Bhagavad Gita, verse 14. Constantly chanting my name and glories and striving for my realization, and bowing again and again to me. Those devotees of firm resolve, ever united with me through meditation, worship me with single-minded devotion. Now, there are three words which are important. Now, these three words were translated into Shravan, Manan and Nididhyasan. I hope you know this. Shravan is hearing, Manan is cogitating on it, Nididhyasan means implementing kind of thing. But actually, if you go to some of these very old Puranas, they don't have this word Nididhyasan. They have a very strange word over there. Shravan, Manan and Kirtan. Shravan, Manan and Kirtan. They don't say Nididhyasan. A devotee's job is Shravan, Manan and Kirtan, not Nididhyasan. A Sankhya yogi's job is Shravan, Manan and Nididhyasan. So I hope you got this clear. So the Kirtan is the most important thing. What is Kirtan? It's given over here. Constantly chanting my name. In the Kirtan is utilizing or saying some great stuff about Sri Krishna, about God. Say to him, you are so beautiful, you are so wonderful. You know that kind of, all the adjectives that you can put together, beautiful adjectives. You have to say those words to him. You are so kind, you are so compassionate, you are so loving, you are so caring. Those kind of words. Okay, you have to describe his eyes, the way he talks, the way he behaves. You know, that kind of a thing. You have to do this. So, chant his name. Just take his name. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Doesn't matter. Need not be a shloka also. Just take his name, Krishna. And his glories. You see, in the previous verse, I told you his glory. A story about him. In the material world, common people, they tell stories about their children, about their husbands, their wives, their mother, their father, their office, the whole world around them, politics and every other nonsense in the world. glorify Krishna. Well, when you are in a spiritual company, don't talk nonsense. Why? That is not the way. Every moment that you get, you just have to take Krishna's name and glorify Him. Striving for my realization, striving for me. You have to like me, you have to love me, you have to come to me. That is all that you need to strive for. Don't strive for realization of Brahma. That's useless. Strive so that you can come to me. That is the only strive that you need to have in your life. Take the name of the Lord. When you take the name of the Lord and you keep on singing His glories, sing His glories. You see, there are some very beautiful poems. Very beautiful, like Madhurashtakam. You see, Madhurashtakam is nothing but Adi Shankara praising Krishna. Why would Adi Shankara want to praise Krishna? He says, don't be a fool in this world. Don't keep on losing yourself in the material world. Just look at Sri Krishna, praise Him, say beautiful stuff to Him. Madhurashtakam. Praise Him. That is what we have to do. Bowing again and again to me. You have to keep on bowing to me. You know, in prayer, those devotees of firm resolve. What is the resolve? That they want to meet me only. That is the resolve. See, the previous word is striving for my realization. And what is the resolve? To only meet Sri Krishna. Ever united with me in meditation means what? You're only focused on me. Meditating on something means zeroing on to one object only. You should not have other 100 objects in front of you. One object, one. Right? Now, I will tell you something now strange. When we say meditating on me, do you know what it means? I will tell you. Sri Krishna has a unique potency. Potency is power. You see, take any object of his. Let us say you are looking at the flute. See, you are just looking at the flute. Sri Krishna's hands are on the flute. Do you know this? Sri Krishna is holding the flute like this. He's holding it. I want you to think, what exactly is he doing? And your eyes are on the flute. Now I will tell you about 5-6 different things. Suppose you look at Krishna's eyes. Now, anybody coming over here, I want you to observe this. When you look into his eyes, you can't see for a very long time. His eyes will literally put you in a, what should I say? You will get lost in them. So eyes. Instead of saying eyes, I should say an eye. Because you can't look in both the eyes. You can see one eye. If you look at his Kan Kundal, there is a crocodile over here. It's not a crocodile, but looks like a crocodile. If you look at his Vastram, there is a color in it. It is of a particular kind. When you look at the More Pankh, have you seen the More Pankh? More Pankh is the peacock feather that he wears, always, if you have seen. If you look at his feet, they are crossed. They are not straight. Crossed. Every object that you see, you may look at a very, very tiny zero onto one object. When you look at the flute, you can't see the whole flute. You can see there are 7 holes in the flute. He is holding it like this. Or he is holding it this way. You see, he is holding on to your back. And when you look at a particular hole in the flute, it triggers a reaction in that particular place in your body. These are the 7 chakras. And the flute is nothing but the entire back of yours, which is, remember, I had told you, the Sushumna Nadi, that is the one. He is holding the Sushumna. Indeed, in that there are 7 centers. 6 actually, 7, the last one. When he puts his mouth onto the last one over there is a hole just where he puts his mouth in. Do you know? There's a hole over there. I want you to think about that. The holes. The place from where the air goes in, and there's a place from where the air can come out also. So when you actually look at objects in his world, Sri Krishna's image, you are actually seeing Krishna within you. So every part of the being that is there, of his, you are going inwards in that. The More Pankh. The More Pankh is how many colors? Many, many colors over there. There is a central eye also over there. The eye is the center of the heart chakra. There are layers on top. So every part that you see, whenever you see, you are actually getting to that place within you. So meditating on a certain object at a certain place is triggering a reaction inside of you and raising the levels of the chakra. We have 72,000 principal nadis in the body. You see, some of the Chinese and Japanese knew about it. The 72,000 nadis. They have a very great art called acupressure and acupuncture. In our world, we don't have to do acupressure or acupuncture. In the Chinese world, they do the acupressure or acupuncture and all that. When you want to trigger something, they will ask you for doing something. They will put pins in a particular place in the body, needles. That affects another system somewhere. Think about it. What do you think they are doing? They are triggering that nadi over there, which is nothing but the 72 different heads of those places. They are the regional and the sub-regional and the divisional heads over there. So they trigger off. Alright? And that is what meditation is all about. When we meditate on specific object, it triggers within our being. Not outside, within our being. So we are actually not doing anything to that entity over there. So meditation is not about outside, meditation is about inside. I hope these two examples of, will help you in understanding a little bit of the subject. So, bowing again and again to me, those devotees with a firm resolve, ever united with me through meditation. See, is he not telling you united with me in meditation? When you meditate on the object, you are actually united with him. See, there is something which is called Salokya, Samipya, Sayuja, those kind of things, which means you have to be in the company of Krishna. Salokya. I'll explain this in some other satsang, but Salokya is enough. You need to be in his company. That means being with him. So meditating on him, when you are meditating on that image of his or whatever, you are actually lost in that particular domain. Alright? Worship me with a single-minded devotion. So the person worships me in that manner. Okay. So we will now do the next verse. We are doing chapter 9, Bhagavad Gita, verse 15. Others who follow the path of knowledge betake themselves to me through yajna of knowledge, worshipping me in my absolute formless aspect as one with themselves, while still others worship my universal form in many ways, taking me to be a diverse in manifold celestial form. So the previous verse, verse number 14, was about devotees. This verse is about other people. Who? The Sankhya yogis and the Karma yogis. How do they come to me? Others who follow the path of knowledge, Sankhya yogi, they betake themselves to me through yajna of knowledge. They study about me. They may write books about me. They may write stories about me. They can do whatever they want to with the knowledge that they have. Now, some of you are listening to this. Today, tomorrow, somebody will say, I will write a book on this. So that person will become a Sankhya yogi. Somebody will say, Guruji has said that we have to meditate on him. So I will not do anything. He has given us a technique, today. Now I will only focus on to one particular place. Okay? And then I will meditate on him. So that is a devotee. A devotee does that. A Sankhya yogi wants to study, get more books. Okay? So, they worship me as an absolute formless aspect as one with themselves. So the Sankhya yogis, they do not consider me as a person. They don't think I am a person. They think I am supposed to be the unmanifest. So when they think of me as an unmanifest, they are not going anywhere, they are going to the unmanifest. So they worship me like an unmanifest. While still others worship me in my universal form. So universal form? See, I wanted to think about it. The previous line, that is the path of knowledge, talks about Sankhya yogi. Now he is talking about Karma yogi. What does Karma yogi look at the whole world as? He sees me in everything. Got it? So he has to serve everything. Serve without any expectation. Isn't that what Karma Yoga is all about? We have to serve the world thinking that the world is Sri Krishna. Got it? And that is what they do. So they, while still others worship me in my universal form. What is a universal form? The trees, the birds, the animals, this, that, stone, you name it. Your relatives, friends, everybody, the whole world around you. You may think, okay, there are people, I have to teach children, poor children, I have to give to, women's empowerment, or whatever you want to do. Karma Yoga, you have to do. You have to serve the world. So that way they will taking me to be diverse in manifold celestial forms. So they think of me as distributed evenly all over. So the Karma Yogi serves the world. So this is where we have come to. So we have come till the end of verse 15. We will stop over here.